Hello everyone, today I watch Hope I made 10 million Robux and content. Let's go watch. I like this video. And I subscribe and please subscribe to my channel and like. Let's go watch.
This was me a month ago. Yeah, broke. But now I'm 10 million Robux richer,
Wow,
and
you're
I'm here to
very
show you
rich.
exactly how.
Congratulations.
I have managed to make a Roblox game which blew up and reached the front page. And I will show you the total earnings, how much I spent on it, and how you can do it too. First of all, let me tell you a little backstory. I used to be a broke kid. All I had was a dream that one day I could make it big. I made my first game, it failed. The second one, failed. This was a never-ending cycle. I couldn't break through. One night I was sitting in my bed and I realized I'm getting nowhere. I had some success, but I wanted more. This is when it clicked. The problem was that my games weren't unique. I made them with passion, but they didn't stand out. I had been studying the front page for months and I came to a conclusion. A lot of the popular games were already existing games, but on different platforms. For example, Fish. It's unique, but it was inspired by Stardew Valley. The Forge, one of the fastest growing games. It was inspired by Jacksmith. I have just found the loophole. All I need to do is find a game that I can get inspired by. I remembered about Bloons. It was one of my favorite childhood games, and with that, a new idea was born. I didn't have a plan, I didn't have a team, but I was ready to make something big. I did some quick research and I realized there are 0 games like this on Roblox. This was a huge opportunity, so I put my plan in gear. I grinded the month straight, scripting, building, modeling, doing all of the labor. Luckily, I filmed the entire process. If you want to check it out, visit this video. It was tiring, but I really wanted to finish this project. Exactly 34 days later, I was done. It was a tower defense game, with some grow a garden elements, and most importantly, balloons. While testing the game with my friends, I noticed something important. They were all hooked, and if I'm being honest, I was too. This is something that I enjoyed playing. It felt refreshing. This game could literally change my life. Without expecting much, I published it. I ran the first ad with these exact settings. Feel free to copy them. The game had some players, but not a lot. Most of the time, it's at 0 active. This is completely normal though. One ad is not enough. A day later, I launched the same ad, but with 2 times more budget. Unfortunately, the game had a lot of bugs. And let me tell you, players were not happy. I was able to fix them, however the damage had already been done. The player count rarely exceeded 20. I was at the exact same spot. All my other games suffered this fate. They gained some recognition, but because of bugs, the players left and the game died. I decided to try something new. If only there was a way to make players come back. Events. This is such an underrated feature. And you know what's underrated too? Meshi.ai. With its help I was able to generate all of these blimps. I could have modeled them myself, but it would have taken hours. Time is a valuable currency, so I used Meshi instead. I generated an image, used the image to 3D tool, selected low poly mode because I want the most efficient wireframes, and just like that, I had a model. If you dislike the result, you can always regenerate it. You can import it straight into Blender and use it in your own projects. I told Meshi I was making this video and they agreed to give me a buck. But honestly, it's a tool I use myself. If you want to try it out yourself, you can get started now at 50% off. What you can do is add a stand that prompts a
Not my time. Please join to my Discord and to my Roblox group because I hear my first. Yeah, wait a minute. I have this game. Please play this game because I make this game. Thank you for attention. Now let's go watch.
an invite to follow the next update. When the time comes, every player who signed up
And I have found Discord.
will get a notification. With the help of this, my player count tripled. The game was starting to get home recommendations. In simple words, it means that the game is in the algorithm. What I did was launch the final ad. I hoped that it would give enough data to promote the game further.
Wow! And I cannot make because without Robux I can't I can't get 10,000 Robux without Robux. Please someone donate to me because I'm too much poor.
Dabar išpardavimo prekiams iki 60% nuolaida. Senukai.
The game blew up to 300 active players. This wasn't anything new though. I have had games with over 1000 active players. However, I really wanted to see if this game could surpass that. The thing is, your game heavily relies on these 6 stats. Some are self-explanatory, like average playtime. That's the time the average player spends in your game. Day 1 retention, the percentage of players that play your game, and after a day, come back. There's also day 7 and day 30 retention. These all are really important. The higher the percentage, the more your game gets pushed further. Payer conversion, the percentage of daily users that spend Robux. Average revenue per paying user, the average amount that a pay-to-win player spends. And finally, qualified playthrough rate. This is the percentage of players who clicked on it and played for at least 5 minutes. This is not the same as click-through rate. Roblox uses these stats to decide whether your game will be pushed further. This is why you see games flooded with monetization. If your stats are low, your game isn't going to go anywhere. Basically, in order to get more players, you need to make them spend more Robux. There is not a secret strategy to launching ads. It comes down to your game score loop and these 6 stats. In my case, these stats were decent, but nothing great. You want them to be green. Mine were yellow. I was hoping that Pop a Balloon would find the right audience, and they would naturally improve. And that's exactly what happened. Overnight, the game grew and peaked at 400 concurrent players. This was only the beginning. The next day, I woke up and received a notification. 1000 CCU, you could be making like 70,000 daily. I was hyped. Overnight, it peaked at 1.3 thousand players. I did not even notice it, because, well, I got school. My friends are telling me that it's going to blow up. I was like, nah, 3,000 players. This was my live reaction. Yo, the game is at 3,000 players. Am I dreaming right now? No way, I can't believe this is happening. You don't know how much this means to me. Let's go. At the time, I was already earning 100,000 Robux per day. That's more than my other games make in a month. I realized I have a game that makes me 300 bucks a day, and that scared me. Every update was terrifying. I spent hours double checking if everything works. All of a sudden, I had a big responsibility. What if the players leave? What if there were bugs? What if my game dies? This overthinking got to my head, but I was driven. I would not sleep until I got it done. I had a big update planned. 6 hours until it dropped, it had 6.9 thousand players. And when I dropped the update, I broke every single record. Because of the admin abuse, the game peaked at 15.3 thousand live active users. For a moment, I had the top 100 game on the platform. It was one of the first games on the up and coming page. Big YouTubers like Bax were making videos. Even after the admin abuse ended, it still had a decent player count. This felt amazing. I had finally made a game that thousands of people enjoy. But it wasn't all sunshines and rainbows. With fame comes a lot of haters. Even though I poured my heart and soul into every update, some players called it trash. My best advice is just ignore them. No matter what you do, someone will always find a reason to criticize you. So how much did this game actually cost to make, and what does it cost to keep it running? Up until release, I spent 35,974 Robux. That's where till release I spent 35,974
This is big count.
Robux. That's very cheap, because I did most of the work alone. Now every update I spend anywhere from 50,000 to 100,000 Robux. This includes models, events, sound effects, music, balloons, and etc. The game was making huge amounts of money. This attracted a bunch of big studios. Basically, they all wanted to buy out my game. Some of these offers were really tempting. This amount of money would have changed my life, my family's life, but I refused. I remembered about the nights I spent working alone, the time I invested into this project, and the passion I had for this game. This is a project that I actually liked. I loved my game, and no amount of money could get it out of my hands. Usually, big games are owned by multiple people. I was the only one with 100% ownership, and I wanted to keep it that way. Maybe this was a mistake, maybe, but my heart told me that it was the right choice. Now 30 days later, let's see if I made my money back. Alright, let's see how much this game has made. Currently, it has around 2.3 thousand players. If we head over to the monetization tab, we can see that in the last 72 hours, it has made 688,298 Robux. It has dropped a lot, but this is still insane. That's equivalent to around 200,000 daily. In the last 7 days, I have made 2,424,502 Robux. But if I take a look at the last 28 days, it's over 11 million Robux. During one of the updates, I made nearly 1 million Robux a day. This is wild. And there's also a thing called Creator Rewards. Since release, this has made me over 2 million Robux. If we add all of this up, this equals to 13,483,776 Robux. This is wild. This game has made more Robux than I have made in my entire life. If I go ahead and convert this amount to money, it's over $51,000. This is a life-changing amount of money. I'm so happy that I did not sell the game. Imagine how much money the top games are making. Roblox is underrated. People don't understand how much potential this platform has. You're one project away from a completely different life. Where is this game now? Well, it still has a respectable amount of players. And it's on the front page. The player count dropped significantly, but at least it's stable. I understand why it had 15k before. It was a new game, players are hyped, YouTubers were making videos. Now the players are mostly from the algorithm. The game still makes around 200,000 Robux a day. On weekends, peaks at 500,000. Till this day, I haven't missed the weekly update. I'm still adding new features and learning how to improve the game. I didn't make this video to flex, I made it to inspire you. I want to show new developers what's possible, and that there are truly no limits. A couple years ago, I didn't know how to use Studio, and now I have a game that is on the front page. You can achieve what you want, as long as you have faith. I would appreciate if you could smash that subscribe button. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, have a great rest of your day, and peace.
Designing
Yeah.
on a tight budget? Order free samples or small quantities.
Like, criticize anymore. Stupid place. I'm tired. Uh, okay, thank you for watching. Don't forget like, subscribe, comment, notification. And I have on Roblox group. Please help me earn more Robux. Because I have only 0 Robux. And bye.